The piercing sound of wood grinders permeates the neighborhood, a painful reminder of all the devastation. Jim Roy, who owns a tree service, never imagined he would see this.
That was my first house in 1983. I did the siding, the roof.
But Roy can barely see that addition or the roof. It's a house that's now owned by Rain Willis.
It's just amazing to see these huge trees and to think that that kind of power can come through and just twist them up and knock, it's pretty shocking.
But with her house and others in ruin, Willis is still thankful.
We are just very blessed by God. I cannot believe, this is a lot of destruction. Even besides the houses that were demolished, there's a lot of other damage to a lot of other houses, and I think we're just so lucky.
So are Debbie Gardelman and Debbie Cope.
I've never seen anything like this.
No. Some of the streets are unrecognizable.
Yeah.
Neighbors now much closer as they cope with this scary ordeal.
And yesterday, just people coming out, do you need anything? Are you okay?
Telling us where to get water and ice if we needed it.
The Red Cross went down the road. We saw the Red Cross. They brought hot meals for people if they needed it.
Yeah, it was just a lot of flames. A lot of flames coming out. The roof was on fire. Everything was on fire.
When I got here about 2.5, maybe 3 hours ago, it was just a little bit of smoke coming, billowing out, from underneath the eaves. And I went in my house and walked back, and then all of a sudden I seen all this black smoke just start billowing up. I came out with my camera and I started snapping pictures.
All you can smell every few minutes is gasoline and tires burning.
I always knew that them tire places was dangerous. And I actually bought some tires from this tire shop before.
They were putting a fire out and stuff, and you could feel the heat, and it was blocking out the sun. It was so dark from the tires, I guess, were on fire.
It's a whole new name to burning rubber, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, burning rubber, huh? It's definitely, I just hope he has insurance.
American flags now mark where Baltimore Police Detective Sean Suter was shot and killed. The scene quiet, only wind moving reward flyers, and crime tape still surrounding Harlem Park. Detectives spending yet another day investigating, while just yards away, churches held Sunday service.
I felt like we actually needed to have service in the light of everything that's going on. The church needs to be open at a time like this, when people are afraid. They have hope in God.
Solid Rock Apostolic Faith Church sits just yards from where Detective Suter was shot and killed Wednesday. Since then, police have occupied the area. Pastor Barbara Abraham believes for good reason.
I feel like they need to do what they need to do because the person still is at large.
But some question the length of time police have been here. Today, this group gathering outside the scene, and ACLU Maryland releasing a statement, both expressing their concern. Tonight, police announced the department would release the scene tomorrow, but no other updates. Pastor Abraham believing prayer is needed now more than ever for Detective Suter's family and the city of Baltimore.
We haven't done our job in the magnitude in which we should have been doing it. That doesn't change what people do. They have to decide that for themselves. But I think if we do our job better, then the crime can lessen.
Heard a huge explosion. It was a few minutes after lunch when an explosion sent residents running. Boom. Huge. Boom. That's a big boom. No one was home here on Redmore Road in Lockern where the explosion happened. But across the street, Mary Graham and her granddaughter were home.
I thought she had knocked something off the wall. I thought it was a tree that fell through our house.
The house involved is completely destroyed. There is no structure left. It's completely gone.
Fire investigators have spent the day digging for a cause, but so far, no one can explain it.
We don't have any information to believe that it was anything immediately suspicious or that there's an apparent danger to the community.
Neighbors say the house had been vacant for almost a year. But this morning, one neighbor says there were signs of life here.
According to my son, he saw somebody came into the house to do some work this morning. And so we don't know if they did something wrong.
The explosion damaged at least 2 other homes, sending bricks and aluminum siding flying through the neighborhood. No one was injured, including Janet Williams, who lives right next door to the scene of the explosion.
It's been a long year. Just buried my brother last month, a nephew before that, and now this, but God is still good. And like I said, I'm alive and go from there.
In their 4 years at the Naval Academy, this may be their easiest day. But it's also packed with tradition and plenty of emotion.
To be completely honest, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. Everything's just happened so quickly.
The 1,000-plus graduates include Stephen Phillips, who's from Anne Arundel County.
I never envisioned graduation day. It was kind of always this far-off moment that was coming, and now that it's finally here, as Izzy said, it's kind of a little bit overwhelming and exciting to see. This is kind of like the beginning of the rest of our life and our service to the country.
They majored in quantitative economics, chemistry, and ocean engineering.
Yeah, lots of late nights, long weekends. Yeah, times when you don't think that you'll see the other side, but here we are now, so it's really great.
President Trump was invited to the graduation, but he's wrapping up his trip overseas. In his place, Vice President Mike Pence.
President Donald Trump is the best friend the armed forces of the United States will ever have.
Vice President Pence received plenty of applause here when he reassured this military crowd that the era of budget cuts in the armed forces is over.
This commander-in-chief will always have your back.
While they'll soon officially begin their military careers, for now, it's time to celebrate.
I feel amazing. It's the best day of my life. Lifelong dream came true. Thank you, Lord.
In Annapolis,
We made it, baby.
John Rydell,
Oh,
Fox 45 News.
I can't believe we made it. I can't believe it.
Davis, look at you.